Hey guys, really quick, I made a new Discord and Instagram. Links are in the description. Go check them out. Okay, enjoy the video. Bye. Guys, I found this incredible Balisong. It's amazing. You're not going to believe this. It's $120. It's cheap. It's got bushings in it.
Wait, hold on. What are bushings? You've said bushings 30 times in the past 3 videos. I have no idea what they are. You keep saying it, but you don't explain what the hell bushings are. What do they do? Tell me what they do, Ethan. Tell me.
Okay. Bushings. That's just gonna be the start. Bushings. What is a bushing? Well, this is a bushing. This is a little metal cylindrical tube thing. It's gonna fit in right here on the blade. And what happens with a bushing is it's gonna stick out, not that much, stick out just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit on either side of the blade. You probably can't even see it. And what it's gonna do, this is the Squiddy Bee, this is just washers. If I tighten these screws too hard, then the handles are gonna squeeze the blade so much that the handle isn't going to be able to freely rotate, and it's gonna bind the handles. So what bushings do is when you tighten the handles, these washers are gonna squeeze up against the tiny bit of the bushing that's sticking out from the blade rather than the blade itself, which means that this is absorbing all of the pressure on the inside, which means that you can tighten these pivot screws as hard as you want, and it's still gonna swing beautifully. Basically, the main selling point of bushing Balisongs is that they're easy to tune, and because you can crank the screws down so much, you don't really need something like Loctite to keep the screws in place, because these things aren't going anywhere. You guys are gonna have to forgive my flipping in this review, because flipping outside in the cold with a metal Balisong that you've dropped in snow is quite difficult. So now that we've been given that lovely explanation of bushings, let's start off with the unboxing experience of the Arctic, because it is the best unboxing experience I have ever experienced with a Balisong. The box is premium, it has little magnets on it that keep it closed, and the Arctic is nestled right in there with a little Balisong care card. I don't have that in the B-roll, but little Balisong care card in there. And the unboxing experience, like I said, is just amazing. One of the most premium unboxing experiences I've had from a Balisong. Taking it out of the box, you're gonna see a 6061 sandwich construction aluminum Balisong with sandblasted handles, anodized to different colors that you can see on Glidr's website. They all look amazing. The blade is 4040C hardened steel, really durable. It weighs 4.5 ounces and has, I would call, a neutral balance. I'm not great at detecting balance in Balisong, but it feels very similar to my Squiddy Bee, which is listed as a neutral balance on Squid's website. And of course, as you saw in the intro, a bushing pivot system, which works amazingly. The Arctic is built like a tank. I have dropped this thing so many times off of my Segway while I'm walking over pavement. I've dropped it in the water, I've dropped it on grass, gravel, anything you can imagine, and it is beaten up. You can see that the bottom of the handles are completely dented, dinged, the paint's chipping off. This thing still flips like a dream. There is no play, there is no tap. The tolerances on this Balisong are incredibly impressive for $120. This is going to be the most possibly controversial
opinion of mine, but I really like the design on the Arctic. I think the handles are very clean, especially with the colors that Glidr offers. The blade design is really cool. It's one of my favorite looking Balisongs out there, second only to something like a Squid Nautilus. It's got hidden Zen pins, which just further improve the look of it as you don't have the little black dots on there. It's just a really clean looking Balisong that I really enjoy it. And even the screws on this thing are cool. I don't know why, I just really like the way that Glidr designed them. They just look cool. As I just mentioned, it flips incredibly. It's nice and balanced. Rollovers work amazingly. Chaplains are comfortable. Aerials are predictable. Basically, any trick that I try and pull off on this Balisong, I don't have to think about. It just kind of happens. It's been amazing to learn on, and it's just really, really solid overall. The bushings are smooth. The action is smooth, and it's just awesome. I could gush about it all day. And of course, the elephant in the room. You can't talk about the Arctic without talking about its price. $115 for an aluminum Balisong. You're getting a bushing pivot system. You're getting incredible build quality, incredible tolerances. You're just getting a really, really solid Balisong. It's really incredible what Glidr managed to do. But unfortunately, the praise cannot continue all day because this is a review and this is not a perfect Balisong. For one, I think it's quite slippery. Doing things like ladders and choker fans, which I can barely do anyway because my finger strength isn't the greatest. I find it falling out of my hands a lot, especially on things where you're dangling the Balisong in between your second and third or third and fourth fingers. I just find it really slippery. And it is a sandwich construction, which most people aren't going to have a problem with, but I know some people do. So overall, this is a fantastic Balisong. The price, the build quality, the performance, everything comes together to create a really impressive Balisong for the price that they're offering it for.
Cameraman Telestro here. I guess I'm here now. Anyways, Cameraman Telestro here. I actually like these things so much that I bought one myself. And, well, actually, Ethan bought it for me, but we don't talk about that. I stole his money. It's a deal. Coming off the back of the Amazon Balisongs that I had, having an Arctic is a completely different world. I had my Amazon Balisongs for around a month playing with them, and those things are completely falling apart, and they just are not fun. Switching to an Arctic was basically like a whole different hobby. Something about these things is so incredibly smooth and so incredibly well balanced and well made that it feels like I'm doing something completely different. There is absolutely no comparison between some of the cheaper Amazon bellies and something like this. And I think overall, compared to Ethan's Squid Trainer, which video coming soon, and some of the other knives like the Squiddy models, this thing still, in my opinion, reigns king as my favorite flipper. The tolerances are just that tight, the bushings are so well put into place. There is absolutely no movement in this knife. And I've been flipping this thing for not too long. I've only had it for about a few weeks. I got it around Christmas, but I have completely destroyed this thing. You'll see in the B-roll, you'll see in me dropping it. This thing is abused, beaten, thrown, just completely whipped across my room, and I have a solid tile flooring, so anytime this thing hits the ground, it just gets completely smacked against a solid surface. Basically what happened with this was somehow I managed to bend not the bushings, not the handles, but the washers. I bent them in a way where it's really hard to explain, but they almost curled around the bushings to make it so when I tighten the pivots down, it would lock up and I would get a lot of binding. After that, I loosened them up, took the bushings out, and I tightened the handles down just to basically flatten out the washers. And after I did that and gave it a nice lubing, this thing flips just as good as it does day one. I can't stress enough how absolutely broken and destroyed this thing is, yet it still flips absolutely perfectly. No tap at all, same play as it did day one, which is basically 0. I am honestly shocked this thing has not, one, fallen apart, I haven't broken a handle or anything, but this thing still flips absolutely amazingly. And the Arctics are not that expensive. At around $115 to $120, they're pretty cheap in the Balisong realm, but what you get for the amount of money you spent on these things is honestly worth every single penny, and having one of these has made me appreciate the hobby even more. While flipping my Amazon Balisongs that I've had, I've liked it, I've enjoyed it, it was fun, but I never really cared and I never really had that itch to pick it up. But after I got this, it was all the time. If I saw it sitting there, I had that itch that I had to scratch. I had to flip at least a little bit. I didn't get that with any other Balisongs that I've tried. However, something about this and the way it's well weighted, the handles are nice and smooth, they're nice and clean. I absolutely love this thing and it keeps me wanting to come back and wanting to flip more. You don't want to buy something and then get bored of it in 2 days. You want to have something that keeps calling your name and keeps calling you back to it. I think not only the flipping experience is a part of that, but also Glidr's colorways on these knives are absolutely gorgeous. You'll see some of this, the blurple B-roll, and then you'll also see some of the fire and ice B-roll of Ethan's other knife that he has. These things are absolutely gorgeous, and every time I see them sitting on my desk, I just want to pick it up and look at it. Besides the obvious wear signs, this thing is still looking amazing. The finish is still bright and it's still just as colorful as the day I got it. But overall, I'm very glad I was gifted one of these. I probably would have ended up buying one either way because I like Ethan's so much. These things out of the box come absolutely perfect, and if you take care of them, unlike me, you'll probably never even have to tune these things, maybe just some lubing. I honestly think if you have a little bit of money to spend and you want to get into this hobby, I would 100% vouch for getting one of these. They absolutely catapulted my love for flipping in just a way that I didn't honestly expect. Amazing flipping experience, beautiful colors, absolutely just a gorgeous knife all around. They take a beating, they're well balanced. I love this thing. A Glidr Arctic is definitely a solid purchase.
And there you have it. Even the cameraman likes it. I bought a second one myself. I'm shameless. I have 2 of them now. Woo! So yeah, go check it out. If you want to buy one, you can go on their website and see all the colors they offer. Follow their Instagram where they announce all their drops. I recommend waiting until they drop on a third-party website like Lamnia or Knife Center because their drops will last much longer. If they drop on their official website, it usually lasts 1 to 2 minutes, I found, and I've missed drops on there plenty of times. So that's about it. Stay tuned for the Squiddy reviews coming up, and thanks for watching. See ya.